So this is a continuation of a problem I've been having with the Mondeo of poor cold starting. I'll leave a link in the description to another one of my videos which shows all the diagnostics that I've been doing. The problem turns out to be the starter motor. So in this video I'm going to replace the starter motor. The one in my car at the moment is drawing far too much current. The end result is that the voltage drops on cables and connectors and so on means I'm only getting about 8 volts across the live terminal on the starter motor and the chassis of the starter motor. And the first steps is to remove this cover and disconnect the battery. So the starter motor is buried underneath all these pipes way down here. On the right hand end, 3 bolts secure it into the engine. There are 2 bolts at the top and 1 just at the bottom. On the left hand end are the electrical connections. The largest top lug is the battery feed. The one directly below that is the solenoid output, and the smaller one is the control wire. So getting to the starter motor is obviously a bit on the tricky side. There's quite a lot of pipes in the way here. You can get to the bolts with a socket set fairly easily. Getting to the electrical connections I found in the past somewhat harder. First thing is to make life easy is to pull this pipe. There's a little connector on the end here that you can just pull out and give yourself a bit more room. So using an offset socket set, undo the 3 bolts securing the starter motor. So with the 3 bolts undone, the starter motor is now completely loose, and it allows you to tilt it up and get to the electrical connections at the back here. You need to undo this one and that one. This one is the power feed from the battery, and that one is the control wire. Then hopefully all this plastic stuff will come away and you'll be able to get the starter motor out. So it's a bit of a fight, but eventually this all comes apart. Now it's just a question of hauling out the old starter motor, and that should pull the cables out of the way. There she comes. So this is the new starter motor. I'm going to try and feed it back in exactly the same way I got out the old one, which seemed to want to come down this side. It's a bit of an old game. There we are. Back up like that, then drop it down. There we are. Right, that's tight. Off you come. Now all we've got to do is slot the starter motor back into the hole and tighten the 3 bolts back down on the other side. It's nice and tight. Go down to the bottom one. Job done. So with the new starter motor in and it starts beautifully, I did some voltage checks and I now have 11 volts across the starter motor live terminal and the starter motor body, which is a heck of a lot better than the 8 volts I used to get.